The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
The girls in the hood are always hard. Ever since 16, I've been having a job.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
It's time to get it straight. No chaser with Jasmyne Cannick.
Overall, it's just a good thing.
Tap into the conversation. Check 1, 2. As Jasmyne covers the latest issues affecting our community and the world.
It is absolutely vital that the truth comes out.
This is Straight No Chaser with Jasmyne Cannick.
Let's go, man.
In this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house.
I said certified free, 7 days a week, wet and gushy, make that pull out game weak. Yeah, you dealing with some wet and gushy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet and gushy.
Hey y'all, what's up? So the City Girls Part 25K challenge is real.
I was looking for you.
The top 20 winners will get flued out. All expenses is paid for.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Only one.
Dirty dance. Sexual and inappropriate.
Take home for $25,000.
I need y'all to shake y'all ass.
I'm still stuck on flued out. Y'all gonna get flued out. Yeah, okay. Welcome to this edition of Straight No Chaser with your host, me, Jasmyne Cannick, and my Candid Convo series. Officially, the Court of Public Opinion is now open. To join the conversation, you can call 323-815-4204, 323-815-4204. You can leave your comments and your questions if you're watching this on Facebook Live, in the live video, and we'll try to get to as many as we can get to. So let's get started. While much of the nation is focused on the nomination of Joe Biden as president and Kamala Harris as vice president, tonight, we're going to talk about what really matters, wet ass pussy, or WAP. It has over 118 million views on YouTube, and up until the announcement of U.S. Senator Kamala Harris being chosen as Joe Biden's pick for vice president, was probably the most talked about subject last week. Grammy Award winner Cardi B's latest song and video, the sexually explicit WAP, short for Wet Ass Pussy, features a collaboration with fellow female rapper Megan Thee Stallion and leaves almost nothing to the imagination. No surprise here, WAP debuted at #1 on Billboard's Hot 100 charts and also broke a streaming record in its first week of release. Released on August 7th, the song drew 93 million U.S. streams within 6 days. According to Nielsen, the tally is the most for any track in its first week of release. WAP has sparked controversy for its provocative and profane lyrics. On one hand, some have argued that it's regressive, it's derogatory, it's exploitive. Others have said that it represents female empowerment and sexual liberation. I don't know about that. There's also been chatter on social media about how the criticism is sexist and has never been directed at male performers who have a long and, yes, celebrated history of delivering raunchy rap lyrics. Side note, I don't know who is making that argument because clearly they do not know their hip hop history. Rest in peace, Dolores Tucker, who many of us over the age of 35 know dedicated the last few years of her life condemning sexually explicit lyrics and rap music to the ire of those like Tupac and Lil Wayne. Ms. Tucker was just one of many people who have raised concerns over the years that rap music's lyrics were misogynistic and threatened the moral foundation of the African American community. Add to that, James Bradley, a Republican running here in California for the 33rd District, tweeted, "Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are what happens when children are raised without God and without a strong father figure. Their new song, The WAP, which I heard accidentally, made me want to pour holy water in my ears, and I feel sorry for future girls if this is their role model." Another Republican hopeful in California, Deanna Lorraine, tweeted, "Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion just set the entire female gender back by 100 years with their disgusting and vile WAP song." In a follow-up, she added, "Remember, Bernie Sanders campaigned with Cardi B." There are a handful of cameos in WAP, including Normani and Rosalia, two women I have never heard of. But none has been discussed as much as the cameo of Kylie Jenner, who can be seen silently strutting down a hallway in her leopard and opening the door to a room where my eyes still can't unsee what I saw in that video. A Change.org petition titled "Remove Kylie Jenner from WAP Video," which I did sign, has garnered over 70,000 signatures since it was posted. In a series of now deleted tweets responding to a critic who compared Kylie's appearance to Normani's intricate dance routine, I don't know how intricate that was, but intricate dance routine in the video, and referred to it as an example of when white women do the bare minimum to get somewhere, Cardi wrote that not everything is about race. Rap singer CeeLo Green got in on the action. He came out of the woodwork with an interview in the UK publication Far Out, in which he criticized Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion for salacious gesturing to kind of get into position and asked, "It comes at what cost?" After facing a lot of backlash on social media for his comments, because many pointed out that he was actually accused of sexual assault in 2013, he took the Notes app apology route, writing, "I acknowledge them all as beautiful, powerful, and influential women and professionals." Joining me today to have a conversation about not only the WAP song and video, but really just the state of women in hip hop from a Generation X point of view is my longtime friend and rapper Knehi of the legendary West Coast female rap group, the 5 Footers.
Hey.
Okay, hey Knehi, welcome. Thank you for coming into the studio.
Thanks for having me.
So, you saw the WAP video.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're a female rapper. You've been in this game for a minute. You have seen sort of the evolution from, let's say, the 90s to where we are now. One of the reasons why I emphasize the fact that this is a Generation X conversation is because it's really our generation that set it off for these types of lyrics and gangster rap. Right. It is, we are definitely to blame. That is, we gave birth to Sugar Free, High C, Second to None, DJ Quick. I mean, we can go on and on and on, right? In terms of those types of lyrics. And so I think it's important that as Generation Xers, right, we have a certain kind of point of view about it than boomers and then millennials behind us. So, I mean, we kind of chit-chatted a little bit about it on social media, but where are you at on it?
I mean, I feel like as a female artist, you know, we've always been set with boundaries. You see what I'm saying? So I was hearing about it before I saw the video. So I thought I was going to see some crazy shit, you know, and I didn't see nothing wrong with the video, if you know, because we come from, you know, the era of suck my dick, and you know it's cool for the guys to say this shit, but when she say, oh, I want to wet your mustache or your beard, then it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And then when I heard about Kylie being in the video, I thought I was gonna see her do something, you know, freaky. She had her clothes on. She was walking. I didn't see her doing nothing. If that was
because she doesn't do anything.
Okay, if it was Brooke Shields, then would they have fucking said something about it? I was just saying, you know, I thought it was gonna be more. I mean, you know, I'm just like, oh, okay, they did that. You know, I was more like, because we always been put on the back burner. Now it's a problem when women are saying this shit. It's a problem, and I don't see what the fuck the problem is when the men been doing this shit for years, and say they talk about slipping fucking pills in our drinks and
that
date
was
raping
Rick Ross,
us.
right?
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't talking about if I wore heels and dressed like them, I would be saying the same shit too, if that's how I felt. So, you know, I don't care what they saying. They saying that. And what do they stand for after they talk about that? What are they doing in their communities? That's what I'm more interested in. You know what I'm saying? It's all TV. It's all entertainment. So they did what they were supposed to do. WAP, wet ass pussy. Everybody, they're catching everybody's attention. We having a fucking whole discussion about the video. So they did what they were supposed to do. This is the music game. They, you know.
Well, okay, let's try to do something now. Poetess, can we show her clip? Yeah. So let's look at where we were and where we are now. This is Knehi. Folks who do remember Set It Off in the Heist and the 5 Footers. Let's see this video clip.
My nose for sure, for sure, yeah. Taking everything first parachuting, right door, I'm looting. Don't make a move, cause you know I'm shooting. Grabbing all stacks, loading up backpacks, cracking open the safes. I'm eating books from the back, hella. I'm your new ready teller, a unit job. There ain't no good fella in this mob. Making what's thrive while head spins, but in about 5 seconds, the mission will end.
This is the raid, everybody lay down, behave.
Now give up the cash, don't make us happy blast.
This is the raid. Everybody lay down, behave.
This is a hold up, your hand should go up.
This is we lost to make the getaway in the getaway car.
Yeah. So get back, capture, rapture before I splat you against the wall. Oh no, I see your roadblock. Flock, cause I'm a rider like Tupac.
That's right.
So
now, first of all, you're so young, girl.
I've been doing this, and some people just jump in. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this.
I look at that and I'm like, man, we done got old.
No, we just seasoned. I start sweating when I see the video.
But look, okay. I look at that. I see you. I see Neb. I see the other sisters. I don't see y'all. Which breast out, which ass out. Y'all not talking about, you know, dick. And all of that, y'all managed to spit your lyrics without doing all of that. And to be, you know, fair for the audience and for our conversation, it's not just about the WAP video, okay? I can look at City Girls. I can look at Nicki Minaj. There are I actually had to do some research because, you know, I don't listen to today's rap. Right, there are very few rappers of today that I even like because I'm sick of the gold chains, the drugs, and the sex. There's got to be more to life than that, right? So it's not just about WAP. I got some criticism on social media. People are like, why are you focused on the WAP video? And I'm like, I'm not just focused on that. I think it's just, we need to have a conversation. And believe me, this could be like a 10-part series because we really, you know, to really fully explore like the evolution of women in hip hop. Like, so going back to the WAP video though, you know, so there was a lot of criticism. Before we came on the air, Poetess was mentioning how she thought it was a great video. I have a lot of friends who think it's visually stunning, right? I think it is absolutely beautiful. Right. I agree with your comments earlier about in terms of men, right? So I am conflicted too because I agree, like the men can say it, because I went back, I was looking at Sugar Free. Now every song Sugar Free that ever did was about yes, Snoop Dogg and his, right? Yeah. Second to none for my folks. Again, you're over 35 and you was into hip hop, then you know who second to none is. High C, all of that. Yeah. It was always about having sex with us, right? And even the music today, that the newer music, right, that I when I do hear it, it's it's.
Can I say something? They was not back then talking about getting people high and drunk to have sex with them either. And that's what's going on right now. And to touch on what you were saying as far as us not showing, back then it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Because you had the Foxy Browns, the Lil' Kims, and that's, one thing for us, like touring 3 females on the road with 33 guys, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of get uncomfortable when there's so much going on like that, you know what I mean? And it's like me and Ned, when I jumped on tour with them, we would talk before we went out and was like, man, we not doing that. We want people to accept us for our lyrics, for us performing, for us really. Now we not about to go out there and do it. No, we could do that if that's what we wanted to do. You know what I mean? But it was a statement. It was something that we believed in, and we stood firm behind it. Like, don't book us because of what we're wearing. Book us because we have a talent. We come in and bring something to the table. The song, I'm clearly talking about robbing somebody. Yes. This is a raid, lay down.
But you also did the song for Set It Off,
It was for Set It Off, but that was my mentality too. You see what I'm saying? Because that was you. In order to be an artist, well, for me, I write about what I go through. Mm-hmm. I write about what I've been through. I write about what my people before me went through. My stuff be some real shit. You see what I'm saying? I don't sit back, don't nobody write for me. Nobody wrote for us. They used to, Jay-Z, they had Jay-Z was going to write for us. We was like, no, we going to do this. They were like, fuck, Jay-Z should have wrote a verse for us. I'm like, we still we did what we did. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, I mean, you got women that's out here, they go and they sleep around and they be sneaky with their pussy. You see what I'm saying? What's wrong with a broad saying, shit, just what I'm doing with my pussy, you got to pay to lay or whatever because they give it up for free out here. You know what I'm saying? And then they be going around, they got thoughts and all this stuff. I mean, let's be for real.
And I think that stands for that hoe over there. Did I get that right?
Something, no.
Okay.
That hoe, something
like that. Because I can't keep up with all the
shit. I don't know about that either.
I don't know. But do you think had you guys gone that route, that maybe the group will be in a different place today? Had you guys decided to cave into the let's be sexy?
I think that it would have put a whole different twist on everything. You know what I'm saying? Because with us being an all-female group, first it was 2, then it was 3, then it was 5, then we deep. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of dynamics like to our group. You dealing with different attitudes and you watch this shit on TV, some of that shit be real. You know what I mean? But the 5-footers played out the way everybody was supposed to play out. You know what I'm saying? Neb, she doing her thing. Josh Skills, she graduated. She's about to get her master's. Cobra owns a hair salon in the Valley. K-Bar, she a teacher over in Carson. Like, everybody doing what they do. I work in the communities, doing gang intervention and working with families. So it played out the way it was supposed to play out, and we still doing what we do in the game. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody take that from us, But I think it would have been crazy. I'm thankful I'm not into drugs and stuff like that. I probably it probably would have went down. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling. I don't know. Everybody got their own little twist. Corporate sexy, everybody's sexy. I'm sexy too. But I may have to put my tennis shoes on.
You was like the Pam of the group. You was like Total's Pam.
Well, I'm just... oh, yeah, But, I mean, it's cool. It's just... I feel like we shouldn't have to, sell sex to sell, our music. You know what I mean?
But that's apparently what sells, and... That again, this is why I'm so conflicted, because as I said earlier, I sometimes feel like I'm a hypocrite, y'all. Sometimes I feel like I'm a hypocrite, right? Because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. So I love my NWA. I love my Ice Cube. I love my DJ Quick. I love all my West Coast gangster rap. But when you sit down and listen to it, it is about the police. It is about drugs, occasionally about some gold, but mostly about either fucking women or beating women, right?
Right.
And so I think back to this country's moral awakening, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a little longer, with Harvey Weinstein and then all the others that followed, and eventually to R. Kelly. And people were like, we can't listen to that anymore, and we can't support, these types of artists, but we do. 118 million views, 93 million streams in the first 6 days. This is obviously the type of music that sells. And the part that I agree with in some of the criticism around this music are the derogatory and sexually explicit lyrics. If I had a kid and I'm taking my kid to school, we ain't in COVID times. Imagine with me. I know women. I see women all the time that don't carry their kids in the car. They play music like WAP in the car with their kids, and then don't understand why Lil Jamel calling you a bitch, or Lil Jamel got the attitude that he has. Don't you think that this music also is part of the reason why our community is in the state that it's in?
I believe so. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like as an artist, you have to stand up and you have to stand up, like, because when they listen to that type of music, then they follow suit. You see what I'm saying? So
that's a role model.
And so it's the parents' responsibility too, with them driving around playing that. Now I'm not about to have that. My
parents, usually the mother.
No, my godson put something up on the YouTube last night, and he was saying to fuck my mama and do it. I said, hold up. I let him listen because I want to see what he listening to too. You see what I'm saying? I said, no, we're not about to listen to that. I just can't listen to anything like this.
I was in the car several times today. I was in the car. And I am probably one of the few people left in LA who actually listen to the radio. I'm a radio person, right? Yeah. I do radio. I like to listen to the radio. And a couple of times, I won't mention the station, but I had to say, what the hell am I listening to? And change. I was like, what is this? Changing the thing. I think we have a caller. I don't even have my earphones, but... call. We're going to take this call in just a second as soon as I put my earphones on, because I promised that during this show I was going to take calls, because a lot of times when I do my show, we get so into the conversation that we don't have time to take calls. So it's, not unusual for me not have to not have headphones, because I just usually don't take calls.
Just do what you want to do.
Yeah. So, but we'll do it today. We gonna take some calls today. But caller, what is your name? Where are you calling from? Hello.
Hello, my name is Jasmine. I'm calling from LA, I guess.
You're Jasmine in LA? And I'm Jasmine in LA. Isn't that quite interesting? All right. So what are your thoughts on this whole conversation?
I definitely feel like some of the music that is out is definitely very provocative. But I mean, sometimes I do listen to it because I'm 21, so like I listen to some of the music, but I do listen to old school music too.
What's old school to you? So now we gonna have to stop. What do you consider old school music?
I'm thinking like the Delphonics.
Okay. I thought she was gonna come with something like Snoop Dogg or Ice Cube.
No, that is definitely not no.
We like the Delphonics and the Stylistics and all that too.
Right. No, I like all that too.
Okay, yeah, I have to agree with you. And it's interesting, you're 21, right? So you're a millennial.
Yes.
And so what I've noticed is that a lot of millennials embrace this. They're the ones making the music, right? Right. When you look at the ages of women like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and I think there was this other one I looked up. Was it Mulatto or?
Oh, talking about
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
What's her name? Jasmine.
I think her name is Mulatto or something because she's mixed. She's like half white and half black. And I had to make myself look at a few of her videos, and I was just like, oh Lord. but it's true. But they're the ones making this music, right? So millennials seem to embrace it, I think, differently. All the comments, a lot of the things that I was reading online in terms of the female empowerment was really coming from the millennial community. Where a lot of the criticism was coming from was, of course, our parents' generation, and then our generation. Because again, I think because we started this shit, because we did. We remember Salt and Pepper and JJ Fad and the 5 Footers and what groups, women, female rappers, were compared to what they are now, right? So, I think of Queen Latifah in her earlier days, Sister Souljah, and some of the other pioneering women in hip hop. It was never really about their sexuality. No. It was about their flow.
Right. And they had messages in their songs. They had
UNITY.
Yeah, they had a message that they were sending. We haven't had that in a long time.
And in a very, very long time. It seems to me that now all the songs, even the women's songs, is all about sex, gold, and drugs.
I think that's the way that some people are programming the artists. Like, that's what I think. I feel because
it could be.
Yeah, they could be programming them like that. That's just how I feel. Like, I started as a teenager in the game, and it was some people that would try to influence you to do certain things, but you have to stand your ground. You know what I'm saying? Footaz, know what's up. Because she was a good influence, and she was like, hey, do this. And then when you look up to people, then you be like, okay, yeah. So it's easy to influence people. So you don't know,
I don't know. And folks who are watching, if you want to call in, if you have something to say, it's 323-815-4204, 323-815-4204. I go back to, I don't want to be the morals police. Like, I don't want to be the morality police. I don't want to be that person, but I would be remiss if I didn't point out that, these lyrics are like, I mean, it's like, if this is what young teenage girls are dancing to, and their younger sisters are watching them listen to this music, and this is what they're aspiring to. I mean, I was in the beauty supply today, and some young people walked into the beauty supply, and I was just like, well, first of all, they didn't hardly have any clothes on. And they were in there to buy some fake eyelashes, but they wanted fake eyelashes that looked like someone else's, like some rapper's eyelashes or whatever. So again, I mean, these rappers are very influential.
Yes.
People are watching them and they're following them. So it's like, where is the responsibility? I don't buy the argument, well, it's art. It's art. It's art. So, freedom of expression, freedom of speech. I don't buy that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it's influential, especially when that's all they have to see. So as an adult, and as a music artist, as a parent, that's why we have to come up with different things to start feeding our kids and start feeding our community. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the only thing that they're seeing is wet ass pussy. We got to show them something else, show them something different. And like you said, responsibility. People need to start taking responsibility for the things that they're doing.
Yeah, I just think that we're a community full of hypocrites. On the one hand, we condemn the R. Kellys, and, we get mad at, although I will say people weren't mad at Rick Ross in the beginning, but then I think someone made an issue of that song, and
Because people don't really listen to the lyrics. Some people don't sit and listen to lyrics. Like, you listen to the lyrics because you're a journalist. You write.
No, I listen to lyrics because I just listen to lyrics.
But you read. Some people don't listen to the lyrics. I done heard a gang of songs, and I'm like, yeah. And then when I'm like, wait, that's what that was saying this whole time, and I didn't know. Because I was not really paying attention to the lyrics. And that taught me something. Like, okay, let me listen. I remember one time, some years ago, I was somewhere and I was like, I had heard something. Somebody says, it was like a call. I didn't know it was a gang call. And I was in the wrong neighborhood. And I think it was swooping or something. I thought it was some song shit or something. I didn't know. They was like, Knehi, you swooping. I said, what the fuck you mean? And they told me, I said, oh, shit, I had to. But it was just, so I stopped.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. Do you remember DJ Quick's song, Just Another Day in My Locked Out Hood?
Yeah.
Can't play that in certain neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not
and it's
good
still
at
like
all.
that to
Not
this
good.
day.
I know.
I was playing something. I said, oh, here I come. Let me turn this down.
I do that when I'm in Compton and in certain parts of other communities.
You turn it up louder.
I turn up loud. When I get in other parts of I turn it down because I know, and I don't, I'm not trying to have any conversations with folks about stuff I don't want to have conversations about. But I do think we're a community full of hypocrites. I do feel like we condemn some and not others. I do also feel that we like to hide under this argument of, well, it's art. Some of this shit is not art. It's just fucking nasty. Right. And some of these videos are porn. Basically,
yeah. They're selling. They're fucking getting rich off of it.
I mean, you watched the video, right?
Yeah.
So you know that part when Kylie, I hate that girl. That part where she walks into the, she looking in the room, and then you see Cardi doing the splits, and she got her breast out and little tassels on.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you have the tassels? We can see. My grandma, whoever came up with. I don't know who came up with it, but I know all of our grandmothers said it to us at one point in time. Those of us who had real grandmothers. Why buy the milk when you get the cow for free, or why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Mm-hmm. It was something like that, right? That's how I feel when I look at videos like, why? I'm like, why do you have tassels on? Like, you should just be prancing around naked, basically, at this point. Like, what do you need the clothes for? Like, really, what do you need them for?
Well, I'm sure that if they could have been all the way naked, they would have did it like that. Didn't some of the scenes look like they didn't really, was it paint? I only saw it one time. It was just like a lot going on. I didn't go back.
I can't unsee what I saw. And again,
they spent a lot of money on that video.
I think it's visually stunning. I agree with everyone who talks about the beauty of the video.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So why you don't like Kylie Jenner?
Oh, I don't do white women who think they're black.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, I thought the Armenian, they not like.
I don't do white women who think they're black. I don't do white women who spend an enormous amount of money to get every single feature that I was born with.
Okay.
And then somehow it's more beautiful on them than it is on women who look like me.
Okay.
And I don't care how many half black babies you have. You are not black.
Okay.
And I feel like putting her in a video like that just further legitimizes in her head that she is black and accepted by the black community, and she is not. That whole damn family has never done shit for black women, although they have, I call them culture bandits. They have stolen a lot from us, not just our men, but they have stolen a lot from black women, from our cornrows to our asses to our lips. They don't do shit for black women or black people. Okay, so you got one black woman out of prison. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So anyway, don't get me started on the Kardashians, okay? So everybody else in that video, from what I learned, is actually some sort of an artist, some sort of singer or rapper. I don't know what the fuck Kylie Jenner does. She's the only person in that video who doesn't do shit, okay?
So you saying she just got in the video because she got the bag?
Yes. Kenneth said they're selling tits and ass, routine business. Let it go. No, I'm not going to let it go, because every day I hear people screaming about Donald Trump and screaming about how, you know, we got to do this for our kids and we got to save the planet and we got to do all these things. This shit is for our kids too. Do you want your child growing up talking about, I got some wet ass pussy? Do you want to see a bunch of elementary age kids? The things that I hear groups of young kids, not even young people, young kids talking about, like, you know, when you're in the store or you're like in the Swami, or you hear their conversation. It's nigga this, nigga that, bitch this, bitch that, and the stuff that they're saying. You know, my grandmother used to wash our mouths out with soap. With soap. Yeah. You know, I remember that G's was a cuss word. Like, you couldn't say, oh, G's, or no. You know what I'm saying? And so if it's about our kids and it's about the future, particularly for Black people, why the fuck are we celebrating this shit? What is there to celebrate in that shit? I don't feel empowered as a woman looking at that. Right. And again, I do agree that if the men can do it, why can't the women do it? Blah, blah, blah. But I don't think the men doing it was right either, right? So all of those songs, you know, give you a perfect example of one. It ain't no fun.
If the homies came, I just told Neb last night. I said we need to do a female version of "It Ain't No Fun" if the homies can't have nothing.
Put me down for one verse. Okay. I'll do one verse.
And then let's see what controversy we come up with after that. Let's see what they talk about.
But right for those of y'all that know that song, Dog Pound, Ain't No Fun. Look it up, okay? It is horrible. I mean, again, I didn't agree with it then. That's why I feel like a hypocrite now. Like, sometimes when these songs come on or I play, because sometimes I do get in my mood where I want to hear my West Side Connection or I want to hear my this and that. And I do feel conflicted inside. But here's the thing, y'all. I don't play it around elders. I don't play it around kids. The only person that hears that shit is me in my car or in my house. I do not play it for other people, right? I wish other people would be more like me in that sense, right? Keep your music to you, especially those kind of lyrics, right? So I don't want to support this notion that just because the men do it, the women should do it. Because to me, when I hear that, it just sounds like, well, just because so and so jumped off a cliff, does that mean you're going to jump off a cliff too? And as a woman, and maybe it's because I'm a Gen Xer, right? Because remember earlier I told you how the millennials are really embracing this song and embracing songs like that. I don't feel empowered by it at all. It doesn't make me feel like good as a woman. When I see that, I say, oh, okay, so that's why he thinks he can call you a bitch. And that's why he thinks he can hit you. And that's why he thinks he can call you a thought. And that's why he thinks he can do X, Y, and Z.
I think that is some things for everybody. There is some girls out there, that's their anthem. They waking up.
But
in the
why
morning,
is that their anthem? Because
they do. They just not like you and not like me.
But
that
why
don't represent me?
Again, why do they do that? Right? What was their inspiration? Because I agree with you. I know some people, some women.
They getting ready. They putting that song on. They about to go drop it like it's hot. That's
they mad the club's closed.
You see what I'm saying? That's it. And they did it at a good time in the pandemic. Ain't nobody else.
It wasn't good for us then. It's not good for them now. Because remember, there was a segment of our generation that was like, we didn't have, again, these weren't the songs we were listening to, but we had Too Short, Don't Fight the Feeling. Yeah. We had some, we had some lyrics, right? But we was ending up teenage pregnancies. We was ending up in gangs. Because remember, these are our kids now, right? So we are partially responsible for who they are today, right? And how they think and what they embrace. And I don't want to be Dolores Tucker Jr. here. I'm not trying to, but I
men have gotten it like that too, because just like with the music, in the music, they make it, it's like it's okay to be like that. So they came from being women in the videos without a voice.
Every other city I go,
see what I'm saying? They just like, and so now they have a voice. They're speaking. They're like, you know.
They had a voice before. We had, like I said, we had Salt and Pepper and JJ Fad, and I can go on and on. Roxanne.
And half of the people rapping right now don't even know the history on rap.
They clearly don't. I was reading, like I said in my intro, when people were complaining about how no one ever criticized the men for their lyrics. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you must not know your history beyond the past 5 years or something. This has been an ongoing conversation in our community, not one that's gone anywhere, because at the end of the day, money talks and everything else doesn't matter after that, right? So if they get that contract, if they get that deal, they're going to say and do whatever the fuck it is that's going to sell their record.
Exactly.
Which I think is a damn shame, particularly today, because you don't have to do that. Today you got SoundCloud. Today you got YouTube. Today you have a way to reach your audience, right? Without even having to go through all of that. And so I don't know. The music today just does not inspire me. In some ways, it embarrasses me. It makes me shake my head. I feel old, and I'm not old, right? I'm on the young end. I barely made it in Gen X. I'm on that end of the Gen X spectrum. So I kind of got a little bit of the freedom, that I feel like millennials have harnessed, but I still have a lot of the Gen X of generation in me as well. And I listen to this shit and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Even when and I'm not gonna name no names, when I listen to certain radio stations here in LA, I'm like, what the fuck
they be with the bullshit
did you turn into?
They be
like,
with the
what
bullshit
is
too.
this?
Yeah, they be with the bullshit too. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through. Hero said, with all of today's issues, nobody is empowered by WAP. And Keisha says she's old. She's 40. Sweetheart, no. 40 is the new 20. You didn't know. You didn't know, right? It certainly is. It really is. We know. Oh, we are young and we know so much. Yeah. This is the greatest age to be. Let me tell you. But yeah, I don't. I'm so, I don't know. I'm so uninspired. And music used to inspire me.
Yeah.
Like,
it used to inspire. You could listen to a song and it take you back to that time. You know what I mean? And I had one of my homies I was playing a new song or something. He was like, Knehi, I don't think that stuff gonna go. Because, you ain't talking about no fucking or no drugs up in there. They don't want to hear that shit. And I just looked. And the song, not just because it was a song I was on, the song was dope and the song had a message. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even finish listening to the whole song or he was like, and I was like, that shit didn't do nothing but make me go harder. You know what I'm saying? Because as an artist, again, we have to take responsibility. If it's something that's missing, we need to fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? Whether it's going looking for new artists or whatever it is, we need to fill in the gap and put what's missing. We know what's missing.
I can do it without about 99% of the people charting on the Billboard charts right now. I can do with about almost all of them. I think we have a caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, ladies, this is Cabot Hayes. I'm calling out of Vegas.
Hey.
I appreciate you guys having this conversation because I'm a huge fan of wet pussy. And
wet ass pussy. Be correct about it. Not just you have to say the whole name.
Yes, indeed, that too. But I wanted to interject because I'm not sure if you guys touched on it. Is that these ladies are strippers, and the rap culture has switched to really incorporate, the dancers. I should say. And that's what they do. That's the audience that they're targeting. That's what they know. And that's what they're flowing about. It's not to make an excuse for what they're doing. I'm a little older. I think I'm a Gen Xer. And
how old are you?
I'm 45.
Oh, you're a Gen Xer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up listening to the same music you guys listen to, and I've grown out of it too. But these women are targeting a certain audience, and I mean, man, they're doing it, and it's 90. What do you say? 90 million in 5 days. That's crazy.
93 million in 6 days. And I can only imagine how many of those were teenagers,
right,
or preteens that were watching that video. And now that's what they're going to aspire to be. Just like I want to be like Cardi B. And it takes a lot for me to even listen to Cardi B speak, like not rapping. I mean, I'm just regularly talking. It takes a lot for me to just be able to listen to her.
I love to hear Cardi talk.
I can't stand it. I'm like, oh my God, girl, go back into English class, please.
Hey, right.
That's a whole nother conversation. Now all Cardi's fans gonna be coming after me. My girl. The girl can't speak English, okay? She just cannot. She just as bad as the woman who was like, you gonna get, what'd she say? Flued out. Okay.
She was for real about
it.
See,
and that's the problem. Y'all too busy. They know all the words to these damn songs. They know all the moves in these videos, but cannot put a subject and a predicate together. Cannot speak simple English.
They cannot write a resume.
Oh, no, they definitely can't do that.
Open doing the split, you don't need a subject and a predicate. All you need is some tassels over the nipples and shake that thing.
And that shit gets old.
Well, what did Cardi B, or it was either Cardi B's lyric or verse, or it was Megan's, but one of them was like, you know, he paid my tuition for this wet ass pussy. He bought a new cell phone just to take pictures of this wet ass. So I guess, you know, I understand what you're saying, but still, it's sad that this is the state that we're in 2020, and these are the things. Like nothing else, Knehi, nothing else makes me feel really like old or whatever. Because you know we're not old, right? Except for these conversations, because in these conversations we have what the younger generation really doesn't, which is a stronger grasp on history, just in terms of where we were and where we are now, and particularly in this arena, right? Talking about gangster rap, this type of music, this sexually explicit music. We've seen it from the beginning all the way up until where it is right now. And it is, like I said, to me, it's very, very sad. And I can only imagine 10 years from now, what it's going to be.
Quick question for you before I get on out of here. Since you got the Purple Rain shirt on and the shoulder popping out a little bit, how does this compare to what Prince was doing? You know, he was ahead of his time, very explicit.
Don't you even bring Prince into this discussion?
Thanks for taking my call.
He gonna say that and get off the phone. He like, don't you even bring Prince into this discussion? Prince ain't got nothing to do with this conversation, okay? We are talking about women today and, you know, basically, you know, where as females, where we are in hip hop, and really, and again, maybe this is a conversation I'll continue at another time, because I think, of course, you can never do this conversation justice in an hour. But also, like I said earlier, kind of looking at the hypocrisy, particularly around the women's movement, right? Which a lot of millennials, you know, have taken a hold of, just in terms of, like I said, you know, canceling R. Kelly. You know, we live in the cancel culture now, right?
Yeah.
So canceling all of these artists who are accused of doing certain things. But it's like, but we turn a blind eye to other things. And I like consistency. Folks who have followed me for years know that's my thing. I like consistency. So, you know, if what is the saying? If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander or whatever. Yes, I need consistency here. You know, as a woman, and you trying to speak of, do not, you know, just look at an R. Kelly and then ignore, you know, some of the other things that are going on. And as women, I don't buy that this is art, and this, for me anyway, I don't buy that this is empowering, because it's not empowering. You know what is empowering, if anything, in that whole situation, in terms of these women in hip hop, is maybe the fact that they're making their own money.
Yeah.
But it's the way that they're making their money that, you know, I think it's going to have a profound impact on Black people, right? Because remember, we are not just first of all, we are not the major consumers of our own music. White people actually are the major consumers, the biggest consumers of hip hop. And so we're not only influencing our own people, we're also sending, I think, a message about our community to other people, right? To other cultures. And you know, I'm not saying that every lyric has to be about Jesus Christ, okay? But I am saying that at the point where you're talking about wet ass pussy, and at the point where your breasts are basically out except for a couple of tassels on them, I mean, really, come on now.
Well, I like that the women are collaborating, because years ago they always used to have.
You gonna go for the collaboration route, girl?
I'm just saying. I was like, well, they rapping together instead of battling and having beef. Like, they used to always keep us separated from other female groups and other artists and stuff like that. So maybe I'm just like, oh, they're working together. They're not fighting each other. I get it, Jasmine. That's why I came. I get it. You know, I don't look at the video over and over. I don't even listen to the song because I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, that's why they be coming at us like that. And that's why I wear sweatpants all the time.
I don't know. Poetess, you wanted to weigh in? Okay, Poetess. What are your thoughts?
Would we rather them stay in the strip club or be able to record music and get out of that type of lifestyle?
So that is a catch-21. Quite frankly, I could do without the strip club, right? So if it was up to me, we would have no strip clubs. And secondly, okay, so you made your money and you're not in the strip club anymore, but you're promoting the strip club culture. You're idolizing it. You're making it a goal for these young ladies to you know what? Ooh, let me tell you about something that depressed me. And I am watching the clock. Do you remember Lawrence Fishburne's daughter? Do you remember that when she came out and was like, I want to be a porn star? Right. This is what these women are inspiring in not only women their age, but younger girls, right? And so that bothers me tremendously. So yeah, you may be able to buy your mansion in Atlanta. You may be able to have every Gucci shoe, purse, Chanel, whatever. But what is the cost? You know, at what cost? There was, I wish I could remember the name of this anthology show that I watched where they kind of discussed this. I wish I could remember, because they had a really good episode about an artist who, you know, had everything and then realized, like, oh, you know, I don't want this. It's not, you know, it's not all it's cracked up to be. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's sad, and I think it's part of the reason why Black people are in the state that they are in right now. I absolutely do. I am one of those people who do believe that our music directly influences our young people. I know that the music we used to listen to, right, coming up, influenced me.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to make one other point. Back when we were coming up, or I should say I'm a little bit older than you guys, the difference now is we had variety, because you had your Foxy Browns and your Little Kims, but you also had your Queen Latifahs.
Yes, Sister Souljah.
Yeah, so that's the difference. There's no variety. There's no real choices now between the two. So
that's why I was saying, like,
they all look alike to me.
Get something else going on.
They all look alike to me. I swear to God, sometimes I can't tell these women, like, I can't tell one from the other. Like, they all, you know, kind of at some point they all just kind of start to look alike. And you know, there are songs here and there that I like. Like, there's some songs by Megan that I like, the ones that are usually more empowering. Like, I like, you know, Girls in the Hood, because I like at the end where she talks about ever since 16, she been having a job, knowing nothing in life. But that's how I feel, because ever since 16, I've been having a job.
So you can relate to
I can relate, to that. And there's some Nicki Minaj that I like, just a little bit. I can't really say there's any Cardi B that I like. I'm not even going to try to lie. Cardi. But it's almost time for us to get out of here. And before we do, I know you're going into the studio after this with your girls. And I just wanted to know, wanted you to tell folks, like, what projects are the 5 Footers working on? What are you working on?
Right now, we're actually finishing a project called Dirty Summers. So, yeah, when I leave here, going straight to the studio. I just want to say thank you for letting me come on this show.
You my girl. You know, we got arrested together.
Yeah. I wouldn't leave without you.
We got arrested together. We should have a photo of us on the bus together.
Right.
We got arrested at one of the Mike Brown, Ezel Ford march in downtown LA, and I still feel guilty about that because you was out there helping me. And it was just crazy.
It's cool.
But we're bonded we've been friends for decades now. So, you know, that'll just be one of the stories when we get older and we sitting on the porch. We remember that time.
That's a whole movie.
I know, that is a whole movie.
When they let me out, I was like, I'm looking for my friend. They like, you're not trying to leave. I was like, I can't leave without her. We're not supposed to let you know about another inmate. You need to let me know about this inmate.
Yeah, fuck that. I think we have your socials. We're going to put that up on the screen so folks can follow you on social media. That is going to do it for this edition of Straight No Chaser with me, Jasmyne Cannick, your host. And my Convo series, which I really, really love because it's a candid conversation I get to have with folks about issues that are important. Like I said, everybody else talking about Biden Harris, we in here talking about, wet ass pussy.
Yeah.
I want to thank tonight's guest, Knehi. You can get in touch with Knehi by following her on social media. As always, I want to thank my girl, Felicia Poetess Morris and Morris Media Studios here in Leimert Park. If you have a topic or a subject that you think it would be great for me to cover, or you want to come on and chat with me or argue with me about something, feel free to reach out to me. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Obviously, I'm on Facebook. You can reach me on my website at iamjasmine.com. And most importantly tonight, I want to talk about today's sponsor of our show. Tonight's show is brought to you by the letters B and H, as in Biden and Harris 2020. All right? Y'all got to get out there and vote. Biden and Harris 2020. We have got to get that man out of the White House. I'm going to be intensely focused on this going into November. We're going to do several shows on the propositions, on the election. You know I am. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, it's Biden and Harris 2020. All right? That's going to do it for me for this edition. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.
The girls in the hood are always hard. Ever since 16, I've been having a job, knowing nothing in life, but I gotta get rich. You could check the throwback pics, I've been there.
West Side.